Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I'll be talking about another character within this game. And today's character will be Mara. Now, who is Mara? Mara is one of the duelist character within the game, which has been added in season 3, and she is part of the Caesar members, meaning in demolition and escort mission, you will be only be able to get her in the Caesar or red team only. Okay, so her weapon is basically a submachine gun. This is also a submachine gun, but some people call it a rifle. I do not know why. People are stupid. But this is also a submachine gun. This is an assault rifle. Like, people doesn't know the difference between these things. Anyway, so what about this weapon? So this weapon characters are basically have the highest amount of what should I call it, hit rate. Okay, and they have more hit rate, but that is not the main point. The main point is, let's talk about this character. Okay, so when it comes to ranking, because of this character capability and how I have been using her, to give this character anything below her recommended point is basically a waste of what should I call it, a waste of uh, uh, gracefulness, or a waste of judging capability. So, which is why, if I were to rate this character, first thing I need to do is to lower this one here, and then I need to put this one here. That's basically how much dangerous she is. Okay, now what does this mean? Allow me to explain. So, first of all, let's talk about this one here. Uh, Rate of fire is already good. Just go with damage. Go with headshot. Go with reload rate because she has 30 bullet. 5 more is not needed. And recoil handling. So this is my favorite combination, because if you have good recoil handling, your spread control will be good also. Even though spread control is a different topic, but if you have good recoil handling, your spread control also increases in the game. I have tried. I know. Don't ask any stupid question. Okay. So after all of this, in 15-meter distance, let's say 14-meter. Okay. So in this distance, what happens is, if I were to show it here, anything above 30 is basically something in this area, or near 30 is this area, and anything below that falls into the 10-meter category. Okay, so if I were to shoot it from here, so first thing, let's look at the accuracy. So when it comes to the accuracy, I'm not even trying my best to control my mouse. That much accurate this is. Okay, so what is the overall damage? The damage is 720. Okay, similar to that of this character here. Okay, except I'll explain why she falls into the double S rank. Because if I were to show it to you guys here, then you will see that her accuracy is so good that I can basically destroy the enemy within very short period of time. Okay, let me explain. I got a little bit distracted there. Okay, let's try it again. 1, 2, and one more reload needed, and then 3. Okay, so within 2 magazine capacity, I was able to destroy 3 enemies. So the accuracy is that much good. Okay, now those are not the main point of this character. The main point of this character is, unlike other character where their active skill are not that much useful, but their weapons skill or weapon capability is good. So the question is, where does this character falls into? This character falls directly into the category where I can shoot the enemy with my active skill, and it will basically cause an ignoring effect. It will cause an ignoring effect. What is that ignoring effect? Let's look at the active skill here. When I cast the active skill, it will create an orb which will basically lower their movement speed, and Mara will be able to attack that orb. Okay, while damaging the orb, it will inflict partial armor ignoring damage. So basically speaking, it will partially inflict non armor damage and directly go to HP damage on the enemy. and the soul orb shrink when the enemy sidesteps or glides. So basically speaking, what is sidestep? Sidestep is, this is sidestep, okay, and this is glide. So when the enemy does that, only then the orb which I applied here will basically shrink. So the question remains is, okay, then what can you do? Just kill them before that happens. So that's basically how it goes. But that is not the main point. The main point is when I do use my active skill and then immediately shoot at them, it takes the lowest amount of time to kill them. So that's what I am saying. Okay, so why is this important? This is important because I think only another character is capable of doing this, is this one, where you basically shoot across the field and then it will still basically hit the enemy. Okay, so that's basically an important topic, and this is how I was able to get 34 kills in one match. Now what about this character passive? This character passive is basically something which applies to the active skill also, and what happens is when she basically uses her armor ignoring damage on the health, she uh, recovers some HP. Okay, that's basically how it goes. So if I were to use my active skill, the armor piercing effect will also cause another of the same effect as healing capability. So let's say I were to do damage on myself. Okay, I did damage on myself. Now let's see what happens. See, I recover. So this recovery can happen without my active skill, but if I were to use the active skill, it will happen a lot more. So it is basically like Ming, but unlike Ming, who is only capable of stealing armor, this one basically steals HP. So that's basically how it goes. Now what about the ultimate? Let's talk about the ultimate. The ultimate is basically when I use the ultimate, okay, when I use the ultimate, it will basically land to the nearest enemy, and if I were to kill that enemy, I will get the same capability as that of I would get from using my normal active and passive skill, but it will happen automatically as long as my enemies are nearby. Okay, so that's basically how it goes. Now if I were to now use my other capabilities such as here, let's see what happens. So I would want to use Phantom Grip a lot more often. So in demolition and escort mission, you would want this a lot more than you want this. Okay, now Soul River, basically speaking, I can take more HP away from the enemy and heal myself a lot more. It is like Fuchsia and Ming combined. This character is okay. Now when it comes to armor, I would go for light regeneration armor, and I would like to have more stringified damage reduction. Okay, so these two are my favorite. Okay, now after all of this has been activated, okay, what will happen? What will happen is this will get activated. What does this do? What does this do is if I were to use it here, you will see a certain thing happened here, which is basically called soul essence. So what is this soul essence? The more the soul essence increases, the more her weapon fire rate increases. Okay, so the question is how much can it increase? It can increase up to 12 times. Okay, I'm not gonna show you up to 12 times, but it can increase up to 12 times because I have already tried it. Okay, now if your shooting rate increases by 12 times, then what will happen is you are gonna be instantly losing all of your bullets instantly, but the bullets, if you are careful, will all be going into the enemy's body. Okay, so you need to be careful about that part only, nothing else. Okay, I am nearly there. 12, right? Now, if I were to do it anymore, I would not get any more stacking. So this only happens in Awaken skill 1. It will only go away if I were to change this character or change the teammate. And otherwise, it goes on until Mara is basically dies or switch teams. I do not know how. So that's basically how it goes. Okay, so this is for Awaken skill 1. Now, what about Awaken skill 2? Awaken skill 2 is not actually good. Just by reading the description, active skill effect will not work anymore, and slow effect will not work anymore. And enemies within a certain range outside of the orb, soul orb, are basically stunned but escape. And if they escape, the orb, soul orb, is destroyed. I do not know what the heck this is, but this is not good. So don't use this. Use this. Okay, when a soul orb is destroyed, it basically follows the next enemy one by one. It is basically using the ultimate without using ultimate and directly goes for passive now. So this is what Awaken skill 3 does. Okay, so if you were to ask me, okay, which one should I select? Obviously 1 and 3 in both escort mission and demolition mission. Now the question remains is, would this character be extremely good at using bomb, let's say in this place, or let's say when it comes to using the escort mission? Now that depends. I'm just telling you that this character is very good at killing enemies. This character is a duelist, basically speaking, very good at fighting against enemies. So that's basically how this character performs. Now, if you were to ask me which type of grenade I would go for, I would definitely go for slow grenade. This is the first time I actually had to say that I would recommend a slow grenade for this character, because this character is hilariously good to the point that it scares me. If someone were to use this character as efficiently as I do, then the game actually overs in a very short period of time. And if you were to use the slowing grenade also, that obviously that is going to be a huge menace. Okay, now obviously I would not recommend one type of grenade. I would recommend two types of grenade: slowing grenade and windstorm grenade. Okay, so this is basically my recommendation when you are using this character. Obviously, if you were to ask me, is there something else I should need to know? Yes, 100%ly. For example, let's say I can see the enemy there due to jumping, right? And I know somewhere around there the enemy is there, somewhere there. If my teammate is there, I will be able to shoot that, and that enemy, whoever there is on the opposite side, is gonna get hit. And if that happens, my teammate will be able to kill that guy over there because I was able to slow down the enemy's movement. So that's basically how it goes. Now, in terms of tacticness, obviously there is not that much, but whatever the tacticness is, you just need to use it very carefully. That's all. But the amount of damage she does is about 720, but because of her active skill and ultimate and passive basically works together so much beautifully that she is basically falling above the category of this three here. Now obviously I would put this one over here if this she is here, because her active skill is good. Okay, her active skill is good. Her active skill is also good, but I need to do double action to actually do anything. And not range limit, it is more like their main problem is I need to be extremely precise in how I need to put it there. So obviously from that category she also falls into this place here. But truth to be told, because of the large quantity of bullets she has and the way she basically builds her block is the reason why I would put this character here. I would put this character here, but compared to what Mara and this one can do, this one is nothing compared to that. But if you were to ask me, okay, then what about this one? This one is definitely good because this character is capable of launching a meow web bomb, which basically auto shoots every enemy at every distance, whatever her meow ultimate is. then if that is the true, then shouldn't she be here? Yes, but the problem is you will only be using that only for one time or two times maybe in every escort mission or maybe in demolition mission. Then compared to that, obviously if you were to use her active skill a lot, then that would make sense. So from that point of perspective, 1, 2 and 3, actually this is the very good combination. Now this one can basically use her active skill, but the droids are basically destroyed very easily compared to her blocks, and her ones basically stays active, but main problem is you are not sure whether the enemies are actually there or not. So that's the whole problem there, which is why this is the good ranking. Now if you were to ask me, okay, is there any gameplay footage? Okay, obviously there is gameplay footage. Why would I not recommend a gameplay footage for this character, who is my third most liked character in the game right now? So let's see, somewhere around here I actually got 34 kills. Okay, look, if a certain character is good, you get more MVP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, yeah. So out of 10 matches, I got about 8 MVP. Isn't that more than good enough? Yes, that is more than good enough. But I'll be showing you guys this one here where I got 34. So first thing first, let's see, where did I put it here? Somewhere around here. Let's see. Strinova. Yeah, here it is. So let's see what happens. So first of all, no point in watching warm up. Let me okay, now let's get started. So let's see what happens. Now I know where the enemy was coming from. I immediately shot there, but it didn't got hit, but I still went there. But because the amount of damage she performs, look what happens. I was able to destroy them very easily. Now the question is, did Nobunaga had, yeah, Nobunaga was affected by my active skill, which is why he died extremely fast. So I killed 2 people here. Now because I was using good quality headphones, I know where the enemies are and I was able to shoot them. Now these enemies are dying very fast. I thought it was maybe me, but no, I eventually actually got very high amount of score in almost every matches, which gives me idea that no, I'm not actually getting quicker kill due to some sort of mental issue. No, this character actually performs very well, and her active skill and passive skill working together as one is another reason why this character has a very hard time dying, because this character basically recovers HP and at a very fast rate. Okay, like I was not even looking at there, but you can definitely see here it is 115, right? Look what happens. 125, 130. If both my HP and armor recovers, then obviously from that point of perspective, under no way people are gonna say, oh, this character isn't that much strong. This character is strong. This character recovers both armor and HP both at the same time, is going to be a huge menace if people actually know how to use this character as efficiently. Like for some reason I was actually overpowering the other Mara, so that is a different topic. But when I use this character, I feel like I am in the zone. This is point number 1. Point number 2 is it rarely happens. It only happens to me for very low amount of character, and 3 of them or maybe 4 of them are Nobunaga, Mara, Leona, and Yugiri. These are the 4 characters currently right now in season 3, where I basically get into the zone and kill as much as enemy as possible, which is not possible for every character. Okay, like even when I use let's see, even when I use Eika at short distance, it is still a point of perspective. Short distance is actually need to be very close, otherwise it is not gonna work. So while Eika is extremely powerful, she's not powerful in every range. She is powerful in the long range, sorry, in the short range only. So the reason I didn't go into the laser, because the laser slows you down. I actually had a very fun time playing this part, and even when I am basically reviewing to you guys on how I'm doing it is still funny, because look what happens. I knew uh, Meredith was gonna come from there because I saw Meredith on the map here. Okay, as a result, I shot there, and because I shot there, I knew that it was eventually gonna get hit, and it did hit Meredith, and I was able to slow down Meredith and was able to destroy Meredith health. Now this is the place where I didn't knew that uh, Michelle was behind me, but I had to let her go because enemy directly in front of me right now. Now I just shot there. I didn't even knew did I actually hit anyone or not, because this is basically review map, right? Like I'm basically reviewing you guys on how I have done. But normally in real life, when I play the game, that doesn't actually show sometimes on where the enemies actually are. I think that Meredith was not actually very good, but I do not also know whether this was even a noob match or not, because I was playing here very well because my aim was actually very good compared to rest of my other matches here. So that depends on whether did I actually do good or not. I am not sure. But this is the maximum amount of score that I have gotten in season what should I call it? Season 3. 34 kills in one match. My teammate was also good. I'm gonna have to say that because I got proper health help, and that is important. Now this is one of the example where I basically got too much jittery. As a result, I didn't understood how to defend myself in two players. Like I died two times in the same manner where I was facing against two players. I knew Meredith or someone was there. That is why I should shot there with my active skill. And here I shot Nobunaga because the accuracy of this character is very good, which is why killing Nobunaga was easy, and so was Michelle here. Okay, so overall, what does this mean? This means that Mara is actually a very powerful character, and if any people were to gonna play her, I think they are easily gonna be able to get high amount of score very easily, without a doubt. Okay, I know sniper characters within this game are actually very strongest. You can get up to 7,000 points. But if you were to go for average skill count and average damage ratio, I think it would go above 5,000 to 6,000, and the kill count will go above 30 sometimes or majority of the time. Okay, so this is basically how I would say Mara is actually overpowered at the moment. Okay, now in terms of her clothing, this and this, okay, this looks like Assassin's Creed. Not gonna lie, this basically looks like Assassin's Creed. I think they were going for this vibe, but this one is the one I like the most because it shows her femininity or feminineness. Okay, a gothic latex style clothing shiny. Like if I were to zoom in, I can even see proper shininess and even some groups in some places. So this rarely happens, but I like it. That much basically is the truth. I like this design. So I have decided I'm gonna go and collect as much as this Bablo coin as much as possible, and eventually we'll try to get this dress. That is one of my target. And in terms of skin, this skin material design for the scissor members is actually good, not good. This binds with her aesthetic very well. Same with this one, but I like this one better than this. Okay, no, this one looks very good. I'm not gonna lie, this one looks very good. uh this one says Predator, not very good, not very good, not good. This one is good. No, no, no. So this is basically how it goes. Okay, so these two are my favorite, but this is even more favorite than rest of the others. So this is my recommendation. So anyway, if you like this character Mara, then I would highly suggest that you try to go for her, because if you try to get her, your gameplay is gonna be easier if you are a submachine gun user, and the submachine gun user in this game are basically have the highest amount of hit rate. Okay, so if you are going for a high hit rate and very good survivability skill, I would suggest that you go with this one instead of Flavia, because Flavia's overall damage output is extremely low. Even though she can survive the highest, her overall damage output is the lowest. Compared to that, Mara is actually extremely strong in that regard. So this is my overall conclusion. If you like this video, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you, and see you again next time.